I wish I was single.
Who are you talking to? What? Why are you recording this?
Because I wish I was single.
Are you serious? You wish you were single?
Yeah.
Fine, be single.
Oh, and I was just playing.
No, give me a ring. Be single.
I was just
Be single.
I was just babe. I was just playing. I was just. Babe, look, it's a TikTok prank. Come on, give my ring back. What? Ah! What was my ring?
You know, guys, society and women try and sell the idea to men that you should be around no matter what. Okay, you should do anything for these girls who don't deserve it. You should give them relationships. You should make them your wives. And quite honestly, gentlemen, in the year 2021, a lot of these girls are not wife material. Okay, a lot of them, they make fools of themselves on TikTok. Okay, they complain about absolutely everything that happens to them. But guys, today's episode will be a little bit different. Okay, today we're going to be looking at some men who are not simping. Okay, most of society, gentlemen, will go out and give these girls anything that they want. But today's video will be a little bit different. We're going to be looking at a few scenarios where men stand up for themselves, or they treat girls in a way that, quite honestly, guys, these girls don't expect it. Because a lot of these girls, man, they've never been told no in their life, and they're used to getting their way. But today's video will be a little bit different. So without further ado, guys, we're going to crack into today's first clip as soon as I find it momentarily here. So without further ado, let's just jump right in.
Oh my gosh, Rachel, look how hot he is. Oh my god, I just noticed. Okay, this is so... Oh my gosh, Rachel, he's pointing up to the light. Stop. Here, add my friend on Snapchat.
Oh, hell no.
What? Dana? Huh? Oh my gosh, I just embarrassed myself even more.
This guy.
You know, guys, I get the feeling that quite a few of these videos are going to be fake, but I just want you to imagine even the amount of effort, like, these people got in their car and, like, you know, assuming that was fake, which I think it was, they'd have to go out, you know, get in their car, organize it, go into separate cars, and then do this whole thing, passing the phone through the windows and everything, just for some likes on TikTok. Right? So, you know, it's just pretty ridiculous.
Guy took me to a fancy as steakhouse, and we had filet mignon and terribly awkward conversation. When it comes time to pay the bill, he graciously offers to pay, takes out his wallet, pulls out a folded bill, unfolds it, puts it on the table, and slides it towards me with 2 fingers like this. Without thinking, I grab it, put it on the check, slide it towards the edge of the table so our server can pick it up. He goes, "Oh no, that bill's for you." I'm confused. I glance over at the bill again quickly. I see a Ben Franklin and I'm like, okay, daddy. But I'm still really confused, so I very hesitantly pick up the bill. And you want to know how rich I became? I became this rich, which is basically filthy rich in bullshit. He handed me a gospel bill. A gospel bill is a fake $1 million bill that has scripture on it that tells you to repent or go to hell. He looked at me dead in the eyes and said, "That's the only cash I carry," which meant he had no money and I had to pay.
You know, it's pretty strange for a lot of these women, guys, to be the ones that pay on dates. Right, oftentimes you'll see it where the dudes are expected to pay. Here's the thing, right? Dudes are expected to plan the date, you know, often drive around, take the girls on the date, and then pay for her food, and then drop her home, and then get a peck on the cheek and a good night. Right, that's typically the message that guys have been sold. You know, you've got to go out here, you've got to do absolutely everything, right? And then if the girl doesn't like it, well, it's all kind of on you. Right, but something that men have realized in the year 2021, gentlemen, is a lot of these girls go on date and they're just going on the dates for the free food, the free attention. And a lot of times, guys, these girls actually have no intention of being with you, even if they go on the date. Right, this is why you have to be very careful when you listen to what these people say, because oftentimes they'll just string you along for very long periods of time. Okay, and a lot of guys will attest to this, right? Where you've gone out, you think a girl's interested in you, but then she just wastes months and months of your time. And this is one of the reasons, guys, why I say, you know what? Don't be out here getting into huge, long text conversations and taking these girls super seriously until they prove themselves to you. And even then, you can make the case that you shouldn't take them seriously anyway. But let's continue onwards.
Which meant he had no money and I had to pay.
It says right here, when you realize you're doing wifey duties at a girlfriend wage.
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn minute.
Okay, and obviously the joke there is, obviously the joke there, right, is the fact that she's doing these things for some dude who hasn't made her into a wife and something like that. And it's always funny, right, when you see TikToks like that or people say, why am I doing all this wife stuff when I'm only the girlfriend? It's like, what wife stuff exactly do you mean? Like, was she not folding sheets in that or something? Like, wow, yeah, I'm going to risk my entire future on you because you fold sheets in my house. Okay, like what even is that, man? Don't be fooled, gentlemen, right? That marriage in the year 2021 is such a ridiculously stupid idea that, quite honestly, men are the ones that take all the risk. Okay, a lot of these girls, they're not dating people who are poorer than them, who earn less money. No, they're dating the guys who have the money. And when I say dating, excuse me, what I mean by that is that they're marrying the dudes that have the money. Right, they're marrying the guys that have more resources than them. So you know what? If they decide to rake you over the divorce coals, they're able to do so and take a good portion, if not all, of your assets, guys. So just be absolutely careful. This whole wifey stuff, I don't find it very adorable or funny, to be honest with you. A lot of guys go through this stuff over courts, and really it just screws their entire life up. I said 2 years ago, this guy weighed this much. In the gym, doing some squats, nice. And you see that this is something as well that a lot of guys are not taught either, right? A lot of guys, the message in 2021 is basically like, you should be comfortable with your body no matter what, right? It doesn't matter if you're unhealthy. It doesn't matter if, you know, you've got all these issues wrong with you. What matters is if you're confident in your own body, right? What would be a lot better for men is if they just got in the gym, right, and weren't sold this message like, hey, it's okay to not do anything with your life. It's okay to not better yourself, to not get in the gym. Guys, if you're a man and you haven't gone to the gym, right, if you're not actively going to the gym, it is something that I strongly recommend, okay, particularly if you're a guy and, you know, you don't feel too good, right? You've got some hard days and the weeks have been rough. Seriously, go to the gym. It'll make you feel so much better, man. Honestly, the days where I feel the worst, guys, are days where I miss the gym because I'm sick or something like that. Those are the days where I feel like just feel totally and utterly awful. And you know, it's a really good habit to get into, guys, going almost every day. But congrats to this guy, man. That's a huge transformation.
So a girl says to you, we're not having sex tonight. Now, when I was younger and I heard that, I would freak out. You know, I would start rationalizing, like, oh, why? Was the date not good? Did you not have fun? Right? And that is the worst reaction, because quite often, especially when said in a playful way, as maybe you're walking back to your place, it's a mess. The girl wants to see how you're going to respond. Are you going to start justifying yourself? Are you going to get angry and butthurt? Are you going to, you know, just become sad and become a sourpuss? Or you're one of those guys that's going to let it roll off your shoulders. So the best way to respond to that is with a playful grin and said, who says I want to have sex with you? Or, don't worry, I'm a virgin. When you answer it like that, then quite often the girl will see, oh, okay, he doesn't really care, and thus she's way more likely to sleep with you. Now, of course, if she's serious and she actually doesn't want to do anything sexual with you, then you should, of course, respect that.
That's really true right there, okay? A lot of guys will get upset, right, when girls say crap like this. And here's the thing, guys. Don't take these girls seriously. Okay, they'll say stuff to you just to try and get an emotional rise. Like, whenever we watch, like, we don't watch them too much anymore, but with YouTube videos, you'll often see, like, guys will sit down and have discussions with girls. I can't remember the name. There's a few podcasts that do this, not just Fresh and Fit, right? But, you know, sitting down and trying to have these logical conversations where you're like stressed out, a lot of girls will just sit there, right? And they'll try and get you emotional. And they'll treat that, you know, if you get emotional, they'll treat it as a victory, right? It doesn't matter actually what's said or who's right or wrong. It's about, okay, if I make you emotional, now you've lost. Right, so this is a little game that girls will play, right, where they'll say, you know what, we're not having bedroom fun, and stuff like that. And whenever a girl says that, by the way, you just know that you are. Like, that's the thing, right, where you can't be taking these girls seriously, because a lot of times what they're doing is they're just throwing words at you to see how you react. And a lot of guys, you know, have issues with this, understandably, because we as guys, you know, we take words and we think that they mean something, right? Silly us, guys, attributing meaning to the things that people say. But a lot of times it actually has no meaning, and a lot of times people will just throw this crap at you just to see how you respond and nothing else.
I wish I was single.
Who are you talking to? What? Why are you recording this?
Because I wish I was single.
Are you serious? You wish you were single?
Yeah.
Fine, be single.
Oh, and I was just playing.
No, give me a ring. Be single.
I was just
Be single.
I was just being. I was just playing. I was just. Babe, look, it's a TikTok prank. Come on, give my ring back. What?
Okay, obviously I reckon that was that was a fake video. I at least I would assume, guys. I don't imagine a dude would put all that money into a ring and then wash it down the drain or whatever the case may be. But just a few points to make here, okay? Girls will try and do this stuff as if you won't just kick them out. You know? It's like they seem to think that they have, and you know, whether or not that video is fake, guys, a lot of women seem to think that they're just totally invincible in relationships. And the really sad part is, okay, is a lot of girls are. A lot of dudes will not leave a girl no matter how poorly she treats him. And I think that's incredibly sad because a lot of guys have been sold the message, you know, that you should stay with her no matter what, right? It doesn't matter if you guys are married and now things have gone downhill as soon as you get married to her, which, by the way, is a very common thing, okay? Like, dudes are just encouraged to stay in relationships and make things work, right? If you're a real man, you quote unquote make things work. You know what making things work looks like, guys? It looks like you getting treated terribly, right? It doesn't look like anything positive or rainbows or like, wow, what a fantastic relationship we have. It's like these people know that when they do bad behavior, if they're allowed to get away with it, it's going to continue. Right, I'm not sure why that would be in this compilation, but whatever.
Boyfriend, that I'm actually cute. Put her down. Like, look at how cute he is. Like, I have to sit here. Like, this is home for you. Don't you forget. Seriously, you can't. Like, don't find a girl out there. Okay, you're coming back home, right?
I only got 2 girls, you and Bia.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Just remember, I'm here.
I know.
I have good stuff for you. Okay. The goodies are home.
Bye.
Bye. So me.
Right, and that really attests to the fact that, like, a lot of girls will say, oh, it doesn't matter how you look, right? It doesn't matter how tall you are. It doesn't matter. What matters is your personality and how much you care and empathy and all this kind of crap, right? You see, this girl right here knows that, okay, if her dude steps outside, there are going to be girls, at least in the area, who would be interested in him. Right, and it's not necessarily because those girls who might come across him know his personality or he's got such a fantastic personality, right? It's because she digs how he's dressed and how he looks, right? He seems to be a taller guy, okay? He's got nice hair, whatever the case may be. And see, people try and sell you the idea that girls don't care about physical appearance at all. It's absolute BS, guys. A lot of them really do. And in fact, you can make the argument that a lot of girls care about that more than men do, actually. Like, you could make a very solid case for that.
So me and my boyfriend live together. I cook dinner almost every night, but I love to cook. And for dinner tonight, I am making chicken cutlets. So my dear friend actually reached out to me and she said, Izzy, please tell me all of that chicken is not just for you and Will. And I have to respond and tell her, yes, indeed it is for just me and Will. The thing is, when you're dating an offensive lineman who plays in the NFL, you can't cook for just the both of you. You have to prepare meals as if you're feeding a small village. So no, I can't make 4 chicken cutlets and call it a day. This kid eats 3 dinners a night. It just simply will not do. So if you ever come across the absurd amount of food that I cook on my Instagram story, just know it's for 2.
And you know what, guys? A lot of girls would see this this video right here and they'd say, oh, that's disgusting, right? How dare you? How dare you cook for a man? Why on earth would you do that? Don't you know you're a boss babe queen, right? And they'll people will try and devalue this. Right, like men really do appreciate food and stuff like that, but we're in the year 2021, gentlemen. It's sold as like this really disgusting thing that girls should never do. And you know what? You're a queen no matter what. Here's the thing, right? If you're dating a successful, attractive guy, you know, that a lot of other girls want, and you're not doing this, I mean, good luck keeping him. You see what I'm saying? Like good luck keeping that dude. You can sit there and complain about how, oh, I won't do this, I won't do that, I'll never do this for a guy. It's like, okay, you know, you can stay single or you can quote unquote settle, right? And a lot of these girls will never quote unquote settle because they think that they're entitled to a certain caliber of guy, right? So some of them will come to these concessions, others won't, and the girls who won't, guys, they just remain single. right? I don't care how much of a boss babe you are or anything like that. Like nothing's gonna come between you and being 40 alone with cats, right? And I don't say that to be mean or rude, guys. It's like a lot of girls would look at this story and say that, wow, that's disgusting, right? How dare she cook for a dude? Okay, this guy's like a, what'd she say, a frontline in the NFL? Okay, sounds like a dude that a lot of other women would want, but you know, again, that's something that in 2021, guys, a lot of people would look at and go, that's really wrong, which is a sad thing to see, right? Where like you can't even cook a meal for a dude, and society will just scream at you, even though a lot of guys would genuinely appreciate that.
To be with you all the time.
I've got no idea what she's doing here. She's filling up his car, is she? I mean, see, the thing about that is, like, I don't want anybody just going in my car, right? I don't know about you guys, but I would be very, like, if I get home, right, and my car is moved, oh, hell no, right? Hell no, I don't care if you put fuel in the car, you don't drive my damn car. I don't know if you guys feel the same way I do about that, but I don't, nah. Like, I can see the kind gesture there, I can see what's trying to happen there, but if you get into a dude's car, right, and you take it off, like, no, it's not happening.
I'm picking up his dry cleaning.
I mean, again, this is a video.
Then what are you doing?
Right? Where a lot of people would look at that and go, oh, that's gross, she's doing something for him.
Hey TikTok, it's Cliff from Raleigh. Unfortunately, I'm not making the content that I want to make because some things have sort of changed in my life, but I just wanted to let you guys know that if anything ever happens, like let's say you have a husband or you have a wife that you've been married to for 24 years and you come home and you find them fucking their golf partner in the living room, one thing you might want to do, go to the savings deposit box. That's right, Brooke, I'm at Wells Fargo. Well, I had a nice little find in the safety deposit box. I had all of our emergency cash, which right now I would say it's an emergency. I have my title to my wife's car, which is in my name, so I guess it'll be my wife's former car, and all the diamonds, her earrings and her studs and her bracelets are here, so they're going to the pawn shop.
That is what I like to see. You know what, guys? That brings a smile to my avatar's face right there. Stuff like this. You see, being prepared is something as well that a lot of people don't talk enough about, right? We hear talks of prenups and all that kind of crap, and look, prenups I'm incredibly skeptical about because I think any good lawyer can just kind of work their way around them, you know, say that they were signed under duress or whatever the case may be, okay? But it doesn't hurt to be prepared for situations, guys. Like, if you're out here, you're investing ridiculous amounts of money, okay? Like, don't be putting everything in her name and all this kind of crap, guys, because, you know, it's really sad to say, but in the current year, a lot of relationships just really don't last. Like, people aren't interested in putting in the work, and a lot of them would rather have the feel good rather than actually put the work into a relationship and make it last. But that is a fantastic little story. I hope he got the Camaro. I really like that car that was behind him in the original video, so I'm hoping that's the car in question.
Usually stepmoms have the reputation of being unpleasant and mean, but that is not the case with Beth. She's the complete opposite and is the kindest, most genuine person ever. Beth is perfect in every way, on the inside and outside. The idea of a stepmom was unsettling before Beth came into my life. But now that she's here, I've never been happier and more excited for a stepmom as perfect as Beth.
I mean, that's pretty wholesome right there, to be honest, right? And just looking at that situation, so maybe the angle there is that the dude had like a wife or a girlfriend previously who wasn't so fantastic, you know, the original, the biological mother of the person making the speech there. And maybe he had enough of a crap and, you know, he actually got a woman who the daughter can respect, that's really cool, right? Because a lot of situations, guys, families will break up and whatever the case may be. And then the mother or the father will get into another relationship where it's just not good for the child and the child doesn't respect that person, right? I don't know the stats on this, by the way. Maybe some of you guys can share in the comments, right? But they've done studies where they look at single mother households, right? Where, obviously it's a single mother, and then she goes out and she finds another guy, a stepfather for the child, and the stats on the stepfather that's brought into the child's life, they're not really positive stats. You see what I'm saying, guys? Like, there's a lot of really awful things that come, especially when single mothers make their judgment. But it's always good to see, like, kids that have people that they can actually look up to, right? Because that's one of the most damaging things that you'll see over the course of people's lifespans, guys, is the amount that people are shaped by their parents is so incredibly large, right? So just having, and especially for dudes, right? If you can have a father in your life that that you respect, you're going to be a whole lot further along than the average person that comes from a broken family. And I don't say that to put down anybody that's come from a broken family. It's just really important that both parents kind of be in the picture.
Public service announcement. If you're dating or married to a man who likes to go hunting, don't make him feel bad about waking up at 4 a.m. on opening day to go hunting. That man's worked really hard to hunt every season. So you wake up at 4 a.m. with him, you put your camouflage on, you jump in that front seat, and you go to that hunting spot. If that's not what you want to do, then why are you with him?
Guys, I've never been hunting before, right? We don't really do that where I'm from. But I imagine that takes a lot of effort, right? So that's pretty cool to see. Like, I don't imagine that's something where you can just rock up and be absolutely clueless. So that's pretty cool to see. And this right here says, have you ever thought about being a homemaker before having kids?
Have you ever been in love?
I don't think so.
Do you want me to describe it to you?
Alright, let's pack my husband's lunch. We're going to start off with some potatoes. We're going to dice those up, add some olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic, and then toss those in the air fryer at 425. I did these for about 35 minutes because there was a lot of them. Then we're going to chop the ends off of some asparagus, add some olive oil, add some salt, pop those in the oven at 425 for about 10 minutes. After this, we are going to grab some garlic bread, get some cheese, put some brisket on there, and then we're just going to make a brisket grilled cheese on the stovetop, press that down, really let it melt and get crispy, and then we're going to take the asparagus out of the oven, add some chipotle chili pepper, add the seasonings, take the potatoes out of the air fryer, pack up those asparagus. I gave him some fruit this week. It was raspberries and cherries, and then I gave him a little extra side of cherries because he really likes them. And then we're going to pack those up and then move on to the potatoes. And then we got these cute little meat and cheese things at Costco, and then we just cover up the brisket, and I made this for 4 days.
Well, that was pretty wild, wasn't it?
So there's a speed trap by our house, and it's on a hill, and my husband and I thought it would be fun to see how fast we could run. I kept getting 9, and it was driving me nuts, so we went back the next night, and I was determined to get 10. My husband is good at everything and got 14 without really even trying.
He's determined. This is the 4th run at it. Let's go.
Never videoed myself running. It looked so slow and awkward. When we were watching it back, we were dying laughing. But it's so fun. You have to try it.
And just going back to this clip right here, guys, this one with the food, right? Again, you can just see the amount of womanists who would be really upset by this, right? Like, how dare you cook? How dare you do these things for a man? Which is really kind of like a lost art, isn't it? Right? I feel like a lot of modern women just have absolutely no idea how to do any of this, right? Just absolutely no idea. And more than having no idea, they would be absolutely insulted if they ever felt like they had to do it for a guy, right? And again, this is something where, okay, you can choose to not do this. You can choose to go out there and be a boss babe and chase your career and whatever the case may be, which nobody is stopping you, by the way, right? Nobody is stopping you from going out there and having your career and doing all those sorts of things. But a lot of girls will rock around to 40 and they'll wish that they chose that path instead right there. Also, a note on this, guys, like, this is just something that I want to pull from this. There's many things you could pull from this. But one of the things is that girls will choose dudes who are superior to them, right? They will choose dudes who are, more intelligent, faster, earn more money, who are taller, who put more effort into their physique, that kind of stuff, right? And this is one such example, right? Where a lot of people will try and chalk it up to love and all that kind of crap, but it's certainly interesting to me how whenever women choose their boyfriends, the boyfriend always seems to be superior most of the time.
walks into your life, and suddenly, you can't remember how you ever lived without them.
And that's pretty cool right there, to be honest, right? At the end, she's with a dude who obviously has no, I think those are all limbs, right? He's missing nose, missing everything but one. So that's super cool to see, and obviously just instantly contradicting my previous point, which is obviously an exception to the rule. But guys, we're going to be calling that video segment right there, but I want to pull up one more thing to kind of show you guys as we wrap up today's episode, and hopefully I have this positioned correctly, but you know, that right there is an example of men doing what society would tell them is bad, and girls as well, right? They'll say, you know what, how dare you go ahead and do these things for someone, but you know, and that's something that's really lost. So let me just see if I can widen this, and I wanted to show you guys this article right here, and I'll fix it in a moment. It says, I saw Better Bachelor cover the Joker over at Better Bachelor cover this, right? And it says 10 things real men should be doing for women. So let me just fix the screen right here. And I wanted to show you guys kind of the expectation versus the reality. Okay, because I think a lot of guys, like, we can see that thing, right? We can see all the TikToks and stuff like that, but this is what's expected of men. So let's take a little bit of a look here. And again, as I continue to screw up the screen. Oopsie daisy, oopsie daisy, oopsie daisy. Continuing on. Man, what in the goodness am I doing? I need to get some sleep. I did back and biceps today, guys. It's pretty good. But let's jump through here. So let's have a look. Men find themselves walking a fine line these days. Most women have subscribed to the belief that acts of chivalry are demeaning and oppressive. Others, though, assert that there are no good men left. So what is a man to do? Hold the door for a woman in the hopes that she will thank him for his good manners, or let the door go in case she harbors an anti-patriarchy attitude. We would argue that it's best to err on the side of chivalry. After all, real men do act with respect towards women. Right? Guys, we're supposed to go out here, open doors for these ladies, treat them respectfully, right? So let's just take a look at some of these things, okay? And then we'll jump in. 1, we should be holding the door for them. 2, we should be carrying heavy objects. 3, we should be walking on the outside of the sidewalk. 4, we should be giving her our coat. 5, we should be giving up your seat. And this is from That 70s Show, I believe, right? So we have an example here where the dude gives her his jacket. Bringing flowers. Right, speaking respectfully, calling instead of texting, paying the bill, putting ladies first. Man, I remember being a kid, right, and I was told this. I'm just going to tell a little bit of an embarrassing story, right? So I was incredibly young. I don't remember what age I was, but I really had to use the bathroom, right? And there was only one bathroom, and it was me and my cousins, right? And I was busting, man. I just got back from like riding the bike out the back in the bush. And I came back in. I'm like, I really gotta use the bathroom. And my grandfather says to me, he goes, you know what, Taylor, you should. The ladies go first, right? There was only one bathroom there. And my 2 female cousins were there, and he's like, you know what, Taylor, the women have to go first, let the ladies go first. And they didn't even have to use the bathroom. So I'm there, damn well ruining my bladder, right? Waiting for the girls to use the bathroom, which, by the way, they take forever. And I'll never forget that, man. Like, I never understood that, right? Where we have to do these things, we have to do all this stupid crap, okay? And for what, right? Like, giving up your seat. So let's go through a bunch and see what they have to say before we jump into that. And excuse my embarrassing story right there, but let's have a bit of a look. So we've got to hold the door. This is a common act of courtesy that doesn't need to be reserved for just women. Who holds the door for another shows that rather than being self-absorbed, he cares about others enough to pause for a moment to make another person's life a tad easier. Bonus points if the door holding is followed up with a smile and a pleasant hello. Yeah, guys, get your smiles on, right? Be pleasant, all that crap. Carrying heavy objects. Biology proves that men generally have a greater physical strength than women. That's a bold claim to be making in 2021. Therefore, it's thoughtful when a man takes on a woman's burden, even if it's just carrying an overstuffed bag of groceries to her front door. Lending a helping hand or bicep should always be welcomed. Guys, I don't know about you. We're going to kind of wrap up today's show here. I might do a full episode of this particular article over on Patreon or Locals or something like that, because it warrants its own episode entirely. But I'm certainly sick of hearing the tone of men should and men should do this, right? I personally am over it, guys. But let me know what you gentlemen think in the comments. So as always, guys, we're going to be calling today's episode there. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you boys in the next episode. Peace.